So guys, before we go forward, I have to warn you, this is going to be a very long video. So first and foremost, grab your Red Bull, grab your drinks, grab your food, grab anything you need to grab, because we are here for the long haul today. This will be my first video that I do kind of explaining everything that has to do with my MS. And I hope that you guys take a very more thorough understanding to kind of how everything is, you know, kind of built with me personally, because everybody with MS is different. So grab your drinks, grab your food, grab some popcorn. We're gonna be here a hot minute, guys. Hey everyone, I am back. I am super excited, and at the same time I'm still feeling a little groggy in the past few days. If you guys have been watching my social media, you guys would notice that I have not been feeling well at all. Like in the past, like when did I post? I posted 5 days ago, which I still wasn't feeling 100% at the time, and I was still going through the optic neuritis with my eyes, which guys, it has improved a lot. I don't see a lot of fogginess at this moment, but my eye is still a little bit, but it's a lot better than before, and I'm so happy about that. And today was the last day that I finally got off the steroids for the optic neuritis, and I'm so happy about it, because let me tell you, my hand took so much like trauma in the past like week, because I did my MRI I think last Saturday, and they used this hand, which you can kind of still see like the thing. This is one of my good veins, by the way, because I don't really have visible veins. So a lot of people ask me, where am I comfortable? What, are you good with veins? Oh, are your veins pumpy? No, they're not. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to every single doctor and nurse. My veins are not plumpy. And every nurse and every doctor will tell me, well, drink water. Oh, no, yeah. I could drink tons of water and it'll still be the same. Like, it does not change. So I sit there and I look at them like, okay, I'll drink water, but it's not like gonna change anything. So I was like, whatever. But since the last time I did my MRI, and I spoke a little bit about it in my previous video, which I will link down below with you guys, I was doing like my nighttime skincare routine, which also I will be pending on the morning routine as well. I did not forget. I know you guys wanted to see it as well, so I will be doing that. But first is first, I wanted to update you guys on everything that was going on. This will be episode 4 of my MS journey. I haven't been doing these a lot as much as I should, but I will also be doing a Q&A on my MS, which some people already had asked a couple of questions about what it is and how does it affect me, and there's just so much that goes to this condition, and I feel like there were a lot of questions that people were kind of curious about, like what kind of symptoms you go through, or like why do you feel like this, or why do you have this. So I'm just like, okay, we're gonna answer for you guys all here, because it'll kind of generate it to a point where you guys may be able to understand it more. So first thing is first, MS is an abbreviation for multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis comes in 4 stages. I will look it up for you guys right now, because honestly I forgot and my memory isn't so good, but I do know what stage I'm on, so don't worry. Don't worry, I know what stage I'm on. But I'm going to talk about it with you guys right now. So the first 4 stages of MS, and the one that I have currently in this moment, is relapsing remitting MS, which is a very common symptom. And what the symptom does is that you have 2 options, well, not 2 options, sorry, I'm not gonna say it that way, but you do have 2, you know, unreliable symptoms that you go through. So when you're in a relapse, it means that you're going through a few like different conditions of symptoms, and I will go through those symptoms with you on what I've been having in the next few minutes. But that is what relapse is. You have a series of symptoms, whether it may be for a few weeks or a few months, and remission means it stops. Like, you have no symptom, you have no movements, no nothing, like you're okay. you know, and that's where the medication for MS comes in. So that is RRMS. The next one is secondary progressive MS, which is also known as SPMS, which is, of course, worse than what I have. And with this one, you kind of have more active lesions in your brain. Lesions are those white little, I kind of want to say, blockage cells in your brain, in your spine, wherever they can find it, which affect your brain function and your central nervous system, which is what multiple sclerosis does. It attacks your central nervous system. What that means is that it attacks anything your nerves control, your brain function, your memory function, your eye function, any nerve signals from your brain to the rest of your body, it affects it. So it doesn't sound as bad as it does, but it does at the same time. It's not really, I don't fancy it. No one should fancy anything, but it's true. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to speak fast. It's just, there's a lot of noise going on in my background. I don't know if you guys hear that. I am so sorry. Sorry guys, for some reason my neighbors think just because it's Saturday and I don't work tomorrow morning that they think they could just fly around and like play with music. But anyway, so then we have the last and foremost, primary progressive MS, which is the worst MS you can have. This is stage 4. You have a whole bunch of symptoms, and at this point in your MS, you are practically, you practically have some type of disability, whether it may be a speaking function, a brain function. You may not be able to walk, you may not be able to move an arm or a limb or a leg. That is what primary progressive MS is, which is PPMS. So thankfully in my case, I haven't gotten worse than what I am. I'm not better, that is for sure. That is 100%. I am not better, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys and say that I am trying to sugarcoat something that some people may be able to find a big deal or not, but I'm definitely not better. I am still learning. It's how do you call that? I keep hearing it and I keep forgetting what I'm trying to say. It's more like a trial and error. There you go. So I'm still within my first year of diagnosis, which means that I'm still trying to figure out what medication works for me. So since I stopped Tysabri about a month, 2 months ago, I have been going through a relapse, which involved me to have multiple symptoms that really affect my body. I wasn't feeling well for a very long time. My migraines came back. My vision loss came back again, which I went back to my doctor's office to figure out why. We figured out that it is optic neuritis and it is associated with MS. The plaque that they saw in my eyes, it's from my previous episode, because my previous episode was really bad. Like, it was the worst of the worst. And I already had 3 cases of vision loss in the past year. So it was something that my doctors were very concerned about, and I couldn't do much about it because there's not much you can do about that, which is why I came off of steroids for the 3rd time this year, which is not a very pretty medicine at all, which is just prednisone. But since my body has never taken steroids, my body was taken in a completely different way, but I do feel better now. There is a possibility my body still may swell up from the steroids, but I'm hoping that that is not the case, so we'll see. But I want to talk about a few symptoms that multiple sclerosis does bring. Besides, apart from what I told you guys, disability is one of them. Sorry, my wall is chipped in paint, so I'm gonna put my avocado here. But yeah, multiple sclerosis brings so many symptoms. So like I told you guys, it affects everything your central nervous system controls. So this can be with urinary function, pain, headaches, anything that has to do with your muscles can also affect it as well. Your whole body balance, which is dizziness, fatigue, I do get that. And very, I don't want to say very difficult, but difficult motion and range. So what I mean by that is that I do get numbness and tingling in my legs, my knees, my hands, my arms, anywhere possible except from like the stomach area or like the mid-thigh. But everywhere else, I usually get symptoms where I feel so much pain. And there are days where it's like a 3, and then there's days where it's like a 20. So it all just depends on how my body is feeling. And since my body hasn't been on any type of medication, it's of course expected for me to be feeling the way I do right now. Today is the 16th. I start my first infusion on the 22nd of this month, which I am hoping I can be able to film it for you guys, just like I did with the Tysabri. I don't want to miss my opportunity to film something very important. Since I've pretty much been filming every single medication I've taken, I kind of want to put it out there for you guys on what's working for me or not, because there's a whole bunch of people going through this as well. So I think it's important, so we can go with that. But yeah, besides that, it does also give you symptoms of urinary tract infections, which I've had previously in the past, but nothing that I've known to be related to MS right now, so I'm not even sure at this point, but I can't say much. Sensory difficulty, which is mostly the pins and the needles that you feel, like the numbness that I was getting. I've had that for at least 2 to 3 years. Of course, it's gotten worse in the past year, but we're not even gonna, talk about that. The visual, obviously, which is my vision that, I'm constantly partially losing, and it's so irritating. Now, a lot of people do ask, well, are you just blind or do you wear glasses? Yes, I do wear glasses. Long story short, I lost my glasses a couple of months ago during COVID. So I don't wear glasses at this moment. I can see. But my problem is that I have trouble looking through computers and when I read. So that's kind of what I need glasses for. But I will be getting glasses, I'm hoping, this year all over again, and, try and check out my eyes, because I still have to go to the doctor and check my prescription, because that's different from the other eye doctor I saw and told you guys. So, moods. This is very important because a lot of people, well, let's just put it this way. They say that multiple sclerosis is the #1 disease that brings the most depression. Now, I don't know if this is true because depression by itself is also a one-man diagnosis. So I don't have depression. I don't think I should diagnose myself with depression. I don't want anybody to diagnose. I don't want anybody to diagnose me with depression because I don't think I could ever consider myself having depression. It's such a big word, and it's such like I don't like using the word hate, and depression's a very serious, mental condition. And although I do have 60 out of 40% of my days where I feel like I am in the most worst position possible, and that's normal. My body doesn't feel okay. I don't feel okay. I have so many symptoms. A lot of things are circling through my head. So for me, it is normal to have those symptoms, and I feel like I am in no right to diagnose myself with depression. But I'm going through the normal symptoms that every single person, once they find out that they are sick, go through. So that is normal, and for that, I would never want to diagnose myself with any type of mental condition. But I would say that I do have my days where I feel my worst. And these past few weeks, I have to say that it's been my hardest. Apart from the beginning of when I was first diagnosed, right now, it's been my hardest. And right now, I don't know if you guys can see that I sound very groggy and very tired because the steroids have been having me that way. And since my body has been through so much medication, it's going crazy. So that's one of them. Speech, which thankfully I've had no issues with my speech. I've always had a weird way of speaking. That's just normal. That's my New York slang. I do kind of struggle more in memory. I can tell you guys that there are times where I lose my focus very fast, and there are times where I forget what I do and what I say for like a very short period. It's more short-term memory than long-term memory. So it's kind of what I struggle with right now, which is really bad because it's frustrating, but at this point I'm just like, whatever. Also, you do have a whole bunch of symptoms, just pain and fatigue, which is the #1 thing that I've been going through, is pain and fatigue all freaking year long. All I have been is fatigued and tired. It is the most annoying, the most irritating feeling any human can have. There's a difference between being tired and being fatigued. You can come out of tired through sleep. I can't come out of tired through fatigue. So if you guys have any recommendations on that, I would be so happy. Apart from sleep, because steroids keep you up, which is why I'm up at this moment. But it has been so difficult to control my fatigue. And until I don't get myself on the right medication for my MS, unfortunately, I can't find the right thing to kind of diagnose myself with, so that way I can have a remedy to help me with the tiredness that my body produces for me to feel. And it's hard because I work a full-time job, and a lot of people, again, ask me, how do you work a full-time job and keep up with your doctor's appointments and do all this stuff? Honestly, I have no freaking idea. I can tell you, and I'm the most honest person on the planet, and I can't sit here and lie to you guys that I don't know how the F I control that system of mine. I am literally stressed out every single day on why or how do I control that system of being able to go to doctor's appointments every single 3 days. Like, it's so irritating, and I have to do it. It's not an option. I have to do it. It is so crucial and so important to what I have. So like why? But because, sorry, my camera cut off. But the reason why I say that is because I see so many doctors. In total, I think I have almost, if not 9 or 10 doctors that are working on my case. And I've said this before back in previous episodes of my MS journey. But today it's going to be more of a Q&A for you guys and kind of like an explanation of everything, because I know it's a little confusing. And when people hear MS, they don't know what the hell it is. And that's okay, because, you know, it's not a known disease. I never knew what it was until I was diagnosed with it. So, I mean, and that was like the beginning of February last year. So it's like, I never knew what it was. I had no ounce of an idea of what it was. If you hear other diseases, you're like, cancer. Yeah, everybody knows what a cancer is, but what the hell is multiple sclerosis, right? So it was just one of those things where everybody is just like, what is that? Like, I don't know what that is. I've had multiple people that actually looked it up, and they were like, oh my God, like, this consists of so much things. I'm like, I know. I was like, it really does. And it's confusing because the one thing I have to say, and a lot of people ask about this too, it's basically, how do I feel when other people kind of, you know, have me talk about the MS and then they see that I'm fine? Because MS doesn't have visual aids. It doesn't have a visual where you're like, oh yeah, she looks like she's sick. No. With MS, you can't really see when you're sick. It's all internal. Everything that I feel right now is inside my body. Besides the situation with my eye, which you can probably see it now, you probably can't. It has gotten better. They're invisible. And I think that's the part that not only me, but that a lot of people struggle with, is that people are not seeing the visual problem of the person because they look okay. It's like if you've had surgery and you're like, oh, you're disabled now, and then you look fine because you're walking at a slow pace, but nothing on the outside is broken, but it's broken on the inside. So that's kind of the feeling of that, and it really sucks because there's a lot of people that are like that. So I'm just like, whatever. But in my case, my symptoms unfortunately are invisible, and I've always said it to this day. I don't expect people to understand what I'm going through, and I don't expect them to ask questions. I openly come on YouTube and I talk about it because I know that there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have MS. There are thousands of people who are still pending whether what they have is MS or not, because for you to get diagnosed with MS, believe it or not, it takes a while. I've had symptoms, like I said in my previous videos, for almost 3 years. And not until last year, when I started feeling the worst, was when I started listening to myself, listening to my gut, and listening to the very few people out there who had cared for me to go and see a doctor. So, you know, I did everything I could to try and do that. I did everything I tried to try and go to doctors and fight, because my first few doctors weren't for me. You know what I mean? I said it to this day. again, more questions. How were you diagnosed with MS? So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So how was I diagnosed with MS? 1, my symptoms. Very important. Once my symptoms start getting worse, you get your diagnosis. 2, your MRI. You always get an MRI of your brain. It's very, very, very important to get an MRI of your brain, because that way they'll be able to see whether you have white spots on your head. I'm not going to say the clinical version. So if you have white spots on your head or your neck or your spine, that may also be a reason why you're having either pain, memory loss, or vision problems. Me. This girl right here. So my symptoms and my MRI, 2 things, were 2 reasons why my doctors were leaning closer to MS. Number 3, my migraines. They were very painful. So I was having migraines consistently, and I had 2 white spots in my brain, closer to different spots to where, you know, the doctor's like, yeah, we're kind of going to rule out MS. So because of that, there was a 3rd thing they had to do in order to fully diagnose me 100%, which was a spinal tap. For those of you who don't know what spinal tap is, I will explain it again in this video. A spinal tap is where they take a needle, like an epidural needle. Most of you females know what an epidural needle looks like when you get pregnant. I'm not pregnant, I don't have kids, so this is my first time having a needle inserted into my spine, so don't judge me. So they insert a very large needle in your lower back. Let's say this is your neck all the way to your sacrum and coccyx, which is right above your buttocks. So they injected a needle right here, right in the lower back for me, and they brought it inside. And in that, they retracted fluid from my spine. And what they look for in there is these things called, and I might be saying it wrong, and I'm so sorry. It's called these allopological glands, whatever that word is. And those are, I don't even know how to explain it. Hold on, guys. Oh my God. Ooh. I don't want to say anything wrong, so I am going to help you guys in this process. I think that's what it's called. Get out. Yeah. So it's these little bands that they find in your spine, which help them determine a very high, I want to say, interlobe on your MS. So when a person has MS, it seems like those bands kind of show them that, yeah, you have a very high body infection in your body, that it's not fighting it properly. So they found that in my spine a couple of weeks after. No, I'm lying to you. It was only a week after where my doctor called me and told me. So yes, my diagnosis was very long. Years of pain, tests, MRIs, spinal fluid. So because of that, I officially entered my diagnosis stage. Which type of MS I had, I did not know yet. I didn't know that until I saw an actual MS specialist here in the city. And even when they did like 100 more tests on me, and I did a lot more MRIs, and they fully diagnosed me with RRMS a couple of weeks ago, like finally, like in a letter, like saying like I had it, just because I was going through symptoms of relapse and remission, you know, so it's normal, right? But yeah, sorry, I'm playing with my hair a lot, guys. I just did it and it looks terrible. But yeah, for those of you who are asking, that is exactly how I got diagnosed with MS. Now, another question a lot of people ask me, how do I emotionally deal and process with the MS? And I have to tell you, there is no perfect way to cope with your diagnosis with anything, not just MS, anything. There is no perfect way. I am still to this day trying to figure out what in the planet am I gonna do with myself mentally to kind of go through this process. And so far, I have to say thank God, I feel like I've been doing a lot better than most people, although I do have a lot of stuff still like in the plate and going on, and that's normal. We're normal, it's supposed to happen, but I don't know how I cope with it, guys. And I do kind of speak about it on my Instagram. I will link it down below, an IGTV video on where it explains that. But really quickly, like I said, there is no good way to cope with something you were diagnosed with that is unfortunately a lifetime condition. You know, there is no better way to cope with that. You have to live with it. You have to make it a part of you. You have to mold it around to the best of your ability, because that is the only way where you may be able to keep some sanity on it. And I have to say, I have kept my best sanity on it, and I have no choice but to, because strength is key. And I always say that to many people. I actually have mentored people younger than me. I'm 23, who actually have MS at a younger diagnosis. So it's really sad when you think about it. You're like, oh my God, like I'm not the only person at my stage and even younger who have something so rigid. And I can't say anything because, listen, there are so many worse conditions than MS. And I'm not saying that this is not a bad condition, but it is on one of the top, you know, like really, like it can change your life in a big way if you don't handle it the right way. So yeah, that's important as well. So I gotta say, that is one thing where you don't want to divert yourself mentally from. It is so important, so important. But also, another thing people have been asking me about is my acne. How I've been dealing with my acne through my medication. I don't know, guys. Let me tell you, my last skincare my last skincare routine is exactly what I do, and my skin has gotten so much better, and you guys can see it. Like, I'm so happy with it. Like, look, it's red. My face is naturally red. I don't have blush. My face is naturally red, but look at this. It is so much better now, and I'm so happy and I'm so thankful. Like, you have no idea. It has gotten so much better. Even the ones on my forehead, look at this. Look at this. Ooh. Okay, the forehead is still here and there. Like, don't judge me, but it's better. But I'm so happy about it. I'm like, ooh, ah. But yeah, acne, everything that I've been using in my other videos, previous videos, is what I've been using for my face. Also, very important, use less makeup, a lot less makeup. If you guys have followed me like for a while now, I'm actually a makeup person, but I stopped a lot. Unfortunately, I had to stop, and I had to take a risk, and I had to take a choice on whether I wanted to let my face breathe because of what I was going through. Because at that point, I didn't know why I was breaking out, which is a question number 2. Because in one of my videos, I broke out so bad. And I usually don't wear makeup in my videos when I upload videos for you guys. It's just something that I'm comfortable with. And it's because I'm too lazy, like too lazy. But I don't wear makeup when I do videos. And it's because of that. So I made a very difficult decision on something that I love to do, and I had to stop it. Now, I do still buy makeup. I don't really buy excess makeup unless if it's eyeliner. Otherwise, all the makeup I get is from BoxyCharm, and you guys always see me every single month. I unbox my boxes, and that's the only makeup I get. And when I get skincare, ooh, girl, forget it. Yo estoy aquí como así, maquillaje, all the time. So I think that's one thing that's really cool as well, but that's the only makeup I get. So it is what it is at this point. But that is another question as well. My breakouts, it is getting better, guys. Everything I've been doing with my skin in the past videos is what I've been doing. So if you guys want to go back and check out those products, I recommend it 1000%. I wish I could sit here and say that I was trying to like butterfinger the products, but no, my face really broke out bad, and those are products that I've been using on my face as a real person. I am not sponsored by any of this skincare I'm not sponsored by anybody, okay? So every product that I come out here on YouTube and I openly talk to you guys about are my honest opinions that I've been using for weeks and months and years. So that's why I say it is very important to go back and look through it. Just do it. It won't hurt. It won't hurt. So another question I've been getting very frequently is, with my MS, how in the planets have I not caught anxiety yet? I'm like, guys, I was like, first of all, I've had anxiety. Listen, I'm not clinically diagnosed with anxiety, but I swear to you, I have anxiety, because every single time I'd be sitting here like, what am I gonna do? What's next? Oh my God. And also, like I said, they always say that medical people are the worst patients in the planet. I'm telling you, I have OCD. I have OCD. I said it. It's out in the open. I got OCD. And I say this not just because I'm OCD. Oh, I need like, I don't know, I need my case to be right here next to my charger. No, I don't mean that type of OCD. I mean the type of OCD where I have to mentally process things in an exact order and make sure I do it. And if I don't do it, I freak out. I freak out. I'm not kidding, guys. I freak the F out. And that's the type of OCD I mean. Because people just think, oh, you need to have things in an orderly fashion. OCD. So yeah, guys. So another few things that I wanted to add on that I did get a lot of questions on, and I honestly answered them before, but I'm gonna do it again because why not? So I've been asked a lot, how do I kind of mentally organize everything with my doctor's appointments and my job? And I gotta tell you, like I said earlier, I have no idea. But I think it's very important to keep an open mind and keep a very, very, very stable mentality when you're going to work your doctor's appointments around your job. So I work evening shifts, so for me it's a little bit more difficult because I have to pick my doctor's appointments very like co-rounded with my schedule, and it kind of sucks because my schedule sucks, but it's what we have to do and it is what it is. But I do make it work, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. It is hard. It is tiring, just because I have only one day off out of the week where I can fit in some doctor's appointments, because not a lot of doctor's offices are open weekends, unfortunately. So I don't have much of a choice there. But how do I organize it? First, buy a planner. Now, I do use my phone sometimes, but I like something where I can physically write everything down and I'm able to kind of see a bigger, a bigger format of stuff that I have to do. And I think that's very important for me because I lose my train of focus very fast. And not so long ago, a few days ago, I actually forgot that I had an appointment. Not as important as the ones that I have coming, but it was equally important where I really did wish I showed up. But anyway, it happens, and I changed it for another day. But stuff like that is the reason why I like writing stuff down. Now, I used to carry a very small planner back then, but I ended up buying like a really good new one. And it's pretty big, and it's a spiral one, and it has so many options in it, stickers and stuff like that, to where aesthetically I can be able to keep up with what I'm doing. So I think it's important, and I think that's one thing where I feel like, you can kind of go around with. Also, I showed it in one of my other videos as well. If you go a couple of videos back, I do have an MS pain and symptom tracker. So what that does is that book kind of helps you track your symptoms on the days that you have pain, or what you took for pain, what type of pain are you feeling, if it's on a scale of 1 to 10, so those are things that you can kind of write in that book, and it's a 90-day journal. I got it on Amazon. I'll try and link it below again for you guys. And I think it's a very good find, and it's a very good read as well. So you're able to already manage your symptoms with that, and I think it's great. I also wanted to share one thing with you guys. Let me see if I find it. I found it. So if you go on Amazon, I'm gonna try and link it down below. I found this book that I've been wanting to read books on MS for a long time, and I think one of the people I work with, I think my nurse practitioner, kind of recommended me this other book, but I went towards this one because it was personal biographies with people with MS. So I was very interested in it, and I was like, I feel like I need to read this, and I feel like it's very important. So I will link that down below as well. It is called Resilience in the Face of Multiple Sclerosis, and it looks just like this. I'm not halfway done with it yet because I try to read it on my spare time at work, but it is by Brandon Bieber, and he is a doctor as well. He's worked with patients with MS for a very long time. And this is what he looks like, of course, but it's a couple of biographies in this book, and so far, as much as I'm reading, it has been very informative. And one thing which I think it's very important is that some of the biographies in this book gives you a different perspective on how other people with MS kind of deal with it. Now, other people in this book do have a scarier stage of MS than I have, which is why it helps me open my mind, because I'm like, these people are still dealing. So yeah, guys, I feel like it's very important as well. This is one question that I get a lot, and sorry I had to change the background a little bit, but this is one question I get the most as well, and I feel like it's important to talk about because a lot of women kind of tend to not do this, and especially women who have chronic conditions as well. Self-care is so important. I can't even explain that enough. I sit here and I'm like, girl, I was like, do you know? And I'm gonna say this with the uttermost like care, is that a lot of women do not provide themselves self-care. And I say that because I was guilty of one of those. I was one of those women where I just didn't know what self-care was, and I didn't know what I needed in order to give myself that. My hair is such a mess, guys, but yeah, I didn't know what to give myself for self-care, and I felt like that was so important because I was sitting here confused like a little puppy, and I'm just like, what do I provide myself? What do I give myself? So I learned down the line that self-care means so many things. Self-care is about you learning how to take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. It's about you trying to cope with what you feel you need for your body to enter that process where you're like, okay, I got this. I can do this. It is a process. It is not an easy process, but it's a doable process. So that's the process that I had to go through. So some of the examples of self-care that I use, that Lisa uses, is reading, music, taking time for yourself. Taking time for yourself is so important, and not many women do this, which of course is expected because we are such creatures, right? So one thing that I feel is important, oh my god, my hair is a mess, guys, but one thing, guys, is you have to take care of yourself, especially when you have something that challenges you every single day. You have to give yourself that self-care you need. Trust me, I say this because I was guilty of it. I gave so much of my time to people where I shouldn't have. I devoted a lot of time to people and things where it was never worth it, and it was never necessary to do it because I had to take care of myself first, and I made a lot of risks and decisions to kind of get myself where I am today. And it wasn't easy. I had to get rid of a lot of people in my life. I had to get rid of a lot of habits in my life, and I feel like that's one challenge where we all struggle with. Every single person in this planet struggles with getting rid of negative energy in your life, and I can say that to the uttermost ability because it's not easy, but you have to put yourself first. And I learned to put myself first for the first time in a long time, and it feels great. It feels great, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. It's like you're having a breath of fresh air, like literally. And I feel like it was just one of those things where I don't even think I have the time to afford to give time to other people. I don't. I stopped doing a lot of things, and I stopped going out. Ever since COVID I have, but it's been worse now just because of everything that I still have to go through. And I thought about it to myself. I was like, maybe after all of my doctor's appointments, I might be able to change. Once I get myself situated in my medication, I might be able to change things around and kind of go through everything and start all over and go out and have fun. Not that you can have much fun in New York City with everything closed, but I can change certain aspects of things, and I can have some fun because it's normal. We gotta have fun. And even though we're in a COVID pandemic right now, if you live in New York City, I do, you would know. But we have to live our best life. And even though we're in the midst of COVID, we still have to live by that theory, because I do. And a lot of people do not do that, which is so important. And I know I'm sitting here rambling about something where, oh, yeah, you're saying that, but you probably don't take your own advice. You're damn right I don't. And there's a lot of things that come out of my mouth that I don't take. And honestly, I should. And honestly, we are all guilty of that. We're all guilty of giving the most uttermost beautiful advice in the planet and don't follow it for ourselves. Why? Because we're human. Our conscious and subconscious works that way. We don't do it just to please other people, but we do it because saying it out loud might be better than just keeping it at bay. And it's true. You are right. And I feel like that's one of the challenges that even people with chronic conditions go through. It's kind of a way to cope with your situation. And it's like, do I cope with it or do I give advice? And I'm not sitting here trying to give the best advice in the planet, because I am literally saying all of the truths in this video, and I don't have to sugarcoat anything. I've made mistakes. I've cried. I've suffered. I'm in pain almost all the time. So I can't sit here and say that I am perfect, because I am so far from perfect. And I'm still working on that, and I'm still working on myself in so many ways, and I'm learning how to be in my own body with something else that's trying to fight through it. So I think that's very important. And a lot of people ask me personally, emotionally, how I handle that, and that is the exact way how I handle that. I handle it exactly just like that. And it's not easy. I'm not gonna say that, because I know a lot of people are probably gonna watch and is, oh, well, that's easy for you to say, and they have something worse than me, or they have something even smaller than me and will try and minuscule me at the way as possible. No. Listen, I don't sit here and judge anybody. There are people going through so much worse things than me, and I pray for you, and I hope that this universe gives you an opportunity to live to your full and best ability, but that won't work if you don't take actions. And I've learned that. There's another thing that has come across in my paths that a lot of people do manage to ask. And again, this is about my job, because of course, when you're sick and you're going through stuff, how do you work, right? So a couple of things that I feel like people have also questioned about me is, will I ever continue to work throughout this entire process? And I have to say yes. Will I be working in the same job? 100% no. I will not be working in the same job that I am at now for a very long time. And I am personally choosing that decision because I am making better decisions for myself. I am making better decisions for my health. And I'm doing it that way because I want to succeed, but in a different way and in my own terms. And I know a lot of people sit there and they're like, well, that's easy for you to say. No, the F is not. I have struggled mentally so much just to kind of process where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. And I'm telling you, it is not easy. I am still thinking about it right now. I'm like, what do I want to do in life? And I know what I want to do in life now, but if you would have met me a year ago, I would have been like, I have no idea. Like, I am like in a thought entanglement or something. Like, I don't know what I want to do. But let me tell you, I have never been so sure in my entire life on what I want to do. And slowly but surely, I will be sharing that with you guys along the path as I go, but it will not be something that I will openly kind of admit right now. But just know that I am personally working on some things that I feel that not only me, but everyone in my community will be excited for, everybody in my channels, everybody in my socials, and I know it's gonna help a lot of people in my position as well. And I've always said it on my channels, I've said it on my Instagram, I said it on my previous videos. I am here not only to bring entertainment, comedy, and truth, but I want to be able to share to many people, women and men, that when you are going through something that you feel that your whole world is going down, that you have the strength and you have the ability to change that, because it's all in your mind. It is all in your friggin' mind. Honestly believe that, because I am going through it. There has been so many times where I've had negative thoughts as to whether I was doing enough in my life to proceed forward and change things. And trust me, I am. It may be slower than other people, but I'm doing it. And I'm doing it to the best of my ability and on my pace. I don't need to work on other people's paces in order to get to my success. Now, may I need to do it faster? Possibly. Possibly needs to do it faster. But right now, because of the situation, I'm going at my pace. And I want every single person out there to know that just because you're on social media and you're seeing all these other people with great success right now does not mean it is your time, boo. It is like they say, there are 365 days in a year. That means, of course, and you're going to hear it, that is 365 opportunities, and one of those days may change your life for the rest of your life. And I've heard this from the most dearest person in my heart, and I believe it 100% that this is true. This is so true, guys, and I'm saying it because, and this may sound so wrong, but literally when I first got diagnosed, it changed my life. And I didn't know whether it changed my life for the good or the bad, but I didn't want to believe it was bad, because I always believe the universe and God will never put something in your path that you cannot handle. And that is true 100%. I live by that. And it's okay. I am not a fanatic, but I do believe that there are a lot of possibilities in life. And I feel like we were put on this earth for a reason. And I was put on this earth for so many purposes that I will slowly but surely again share with you guys in my near future. But we have to be strong. And that comes to my emotional purpose in life and with MS as well, because I know a lot of people ask my opinions about this, and I have to say that I don't know, that's my opinion. Like, I can't say anything bad about it. Like, you know, and this goes to everything. Like, I may not be as positive as other people, but trust me, I am positive for me. I am positive in my own pace, and that's what's important. That's what we need. We need that possibility. So guys, with that being formally said, I know this was the longest video in the planet, and I'm not going to apologize for that, because a lot of people need this. A lot of people need to sit here for an hour and talk about this, because it's not easy. And I know people stray away and are afraid of talking for this long, but I'm not afraid of that. Whether you want to dislike this video or like this video, it is entirely up to you. I am here to bring my honest opinion about everything I possibly can. I want to be able to bring that perspective out there for many people who are going through this just like me. It's millions of people, it's millions of girls, it's millions of females, it's millions of men. It is not easy. It is not. And I'm sitting out here with no makeup, looking crazy, probably looking like a pterodactyl, talking about this very late at night, because we're human, and that's what it is. I want to bring that real perspective to you guys. I don't want to sit here and having to make a whole quality video about something that is real life, guys. It's real. It's not fake. This is people's suffering. You know, these are people's opinions, people's thoughts. Like, I don't think this should be taken lightly whatsoever. And it's why I've decided to do a lot in that case. And when everything does get better and my body finally decides to get on a medication which is going to work for me, and that's going to be the happiest day of my life, Trust me, there are so many happy moments in my life, but this is going to be one of them. You guys will be there to see that. And I'm so excited for that because that's what I want. I want to have that moment. I want to have that, yeah, like I did that, and I came this long way, and I went through 5, 6, 7 medications to get where I am, and I'm happy with that. But a lot of people are scared to come on here and talk about this. There are people that are hiding all of this, and I'm not saying that's wrong. You can hide it all you want, but I'm telling you, you need that support. And thankfully, I have to say, I have received the most beautiful support that I have from the people who know who they are. And without them, I don't think I would be where I am right now. I don't think I would be as strong as I am right now without the support of those people who have been supporting me since this first happened. And that means a lot to me. And, you know, I just have to say, your support group is very important, especially with something like this so deep and so, you know, emotional, and it's really, really, really deep. And I'm telling you, as you learn as you go, it's very important to find a support group, whether it may be small, whether it may be big, whether it may be an online group. Do it. Get that opportunity to go out there and get that opportunity to find people just like you. Another thing I wanted to quickly also touch up on, and I have to say this because I'm telling you, I'm not saying it because I'm a typical New Yorker, right? But I'm saying this because it happens a million times, and I have to say that I'm not doing this because I didn't take my own advice, but I did. You have to, and I said this a couple of times in this video, focus on yourself. Focus the living shrat on yourself. Because only you can keep yourself alive. I hope you guys know that. Like, I learned that the hard way. You're the only one that can keep yourself alive and healthy and fine. Although healthy, it's minimal options for people like us, but we can survive this. And I want to let you guys know that I am so thankful that you guys have been watching my videos, and you guys have been so supportive, and you guys have been there watching the entire thing. And I have to say that I am so grateful for that. And I can't thank everybody on the planet personally, but I'm going to thank everybody here verbally for your support. I have received so much support from even people that I don't know, and I'm so grateful for that, because that is what we all need. We don't need people to understand, but we need people to accept that it's there. We need people to accept that it's a thing. And, you know, whether they're invisible symptoms or whether they're visual symptoms, we all should be treated the same. We should be treated as normal people. We don't expect pity. I don't expect pity. But when things are wrong, and when things go wrong, and I am not active and I'm not social, it is because I am feeling so many different things that I can't control enough to get on social and breach it out to you guys. And I want you guys to know that, for when occasionally, sometimes, I disappear through YouTube or Instagram or wherever I'm located. I disappear for a reason. And most likely, if you guys follow my Snapchat, which I am there more than I am on any other social medias, you will know. But don't worry, I will link all my socials below, so that way you guys stay up to date with everything that's going on. It's mostly where I am if I'm not on YouTube. So it's very important for you guys to go out there. If you really have more questions about MS, or you know anybody with MS, or you know anybody with any chronic condition as close to mine or worse than mine or less than mine, I don't care what it is. I am here for anybody who has anything going on. I do not selectively pick people who have MS. I want people with every single diversity disease out there to come to me and ask me questions, because that's what we are here for. Now, I don't have a support group at this moment. I would love to make one eventually soon for women like me. And I want to get together with a lot of people, and I want to discuss a lot of things that I think it's important. And I think I think discussing empowerment is so important in our souls and, you know, our beings. And I'm not saying that to sound like a weird, crazy fanatic girl, like, oh my gosh, she's talking about souls. No. I'm saying it because it's important. If you are living this day and age now, you will see that everything on the news that is going on right now is an effect on our life. And whether it be politics, death, violence, I mean, everything is just bad right now. And I'm not going to explain it on here, but and I'm not going to talk about it on here, but I'm going to say that it's very tough. And I'm not saying it to be negative because I wish positivity on the universe, but I do still think that we as humans have to remain and stay strong, because I'm telling you, it's not, I don't feel like it's going to change, but we can make a change within each other. And I feel that me starting that, it's going to start something very good, very new, and I feel like it's going to be better for us. And I want to create that atmosphere with you guys. So I'm hoping that even though you guys stood through this long video, whether you did, whether you skipped, it is up to you. I am not here to tell you to stay here for an hour watching me ramble about, in other words, you know, CRAP, if that's what you guys think I'm rambling about, or just BULLSHIT. If you guys think I'm rambling about that too, it is up to you. I don't care. I am here for the people who are like me. I am here for the people who are struggling like me, and that's all I care about. That's all I care about. I care about those people that are like me, that need my help, that need my guidance. Although I don't have much experience, I don't have years of experience. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't have a degree for that matter. So I'm here as a girl, as a 90s girl. I am here as a daughter. I am here as a sibling. I am here as an aunt. I am here as a friend. I am here as in every other single way to bring support to a lot of people who are going through stuff like me, and I will never stop saying it. It is my goal. It is my future goal. And I hope that I can be there for you guys. And I hope you guys can be there as well on my channel, having fun as always. I will be continuing to make videos like this. It won't be as grogging as long as this. This is just a Q&A of mine and a whole explanation of everything all over again. So that way you guys who don't know me, hi, I'm Lisa, can know all the stuff that I personally go through and that I share out there with all of my followers and all of my platforms. And like I said, I'm not here for pity. Trust me, most of my videos are fun. They're not about MS, but it's a very huge, important part of my life, and a lot of people have accepted that along with, you know, everything that I do. So thank you guys for staying throughout this entire video. I'm not going to promise you I won't make a long one again, but it won't be this long. So I'm sorry if I kept you here too long, and if you got bored, if you left, and you probably turned off the video. But for those of you who did stay on here and watch the whole thing, thank you so much. And I love the support, and I love receiving it, and I'm still going through a whole bunch of things. So stay tuned for more videos of mine. I will not be making another MS video for a while, but I will be making a couple of more content for you guys that I am so excited to share, and I can't wait to share it with you guys because it is so fun. It is different. I will be going out more. So that's an 100% thing, because you guys been like literally watching me in my videos talking about, when is this girl gonna go out? I'm gonna go out, trust me, with my mask, but I'm gonna go out. So I feel like that'll be fun as well. So thank you guys. Please give this video a like and a thumbs up so that YouTube can see that you are actively watching my videos, or if you want to dislike it, it is up to you. We are human. I can't please anybody, so that is normal. And also, again, please follow my social medias below, which is my Snapchat if you want to see me more active, my Instagram, and my TikTok, where I have recently become a lot more active. So definitely follow me there. It's going to be a little bit more of my funny comedy side, because why not, right? Why not take that opportunity to be the beautiful, funny clown you can be? So that is one of the reasons as well. And I will be linking down a lot more stuff below as well if you guys want to see in my description and kind of see what I'm talking about. It is definitely up to you. But thank you guys, and I will see you in my next video.